Here we go. I'm gonna tuck these girls right in beside this bush line here. Nice and calm. But I'm moving them from a pasture that has lots of fresh clover growth. So, moving them into a calm spot in the yard with very little forage and a hell of a lot of bees. So more bee pressure. But I'm moving them out of a very windy open pasture. So how do you weigh those trade-offs, right? Kind of enjoying myself working in the calm of the trees. It's about 40k winds today, but I was able to carry out my work in the sunshine and the calm air. The bees, they're feeling good. And that's what it's all about. I do a lot of thinking about things. Well, as you can appreciate, as beekeepers, we are very solitary, so we just kind of work away at ourselves and manage these bugs in a box and sit there out in the environment and think about things ourselves. And our thoughts get wandering. We've just gone through an election here, and there's a lot of comments made about corporate responsibility. My train of thought follows the same type of line, where as farmers we need to follow sustainable responsibility. More and more farmers I talk to, they're starting to recognize that the way we manage our properties, so focused on development, we are kind of getting things out of balance a little bit. We have to recognize development is very important because this is our jobs and our livelihoods. So we have to do what we have to do. But at the same time, where we don't have to, we need to be able to preserve that. And that's the responsibility of landowners, of farmers. We're the ones managing the land, sustaining the environment around us. So as we manage and develop, I think it's our responsibility to be able to give back a little bit, to provide those natural aspects of the landscape, for other things to survive. As beekeepers, we are a champion of the environment, but we also have our foot in the door of development. We rely on the environment to sustain the growth of our apiary, but we rely on development to be able to create this into a livelihood. So we stretch our arms into both aspects of development and the environment. I think we have the opportunity to provide that conversation between the two camps, as we can all appreciate is very polarized. But we can appreciate the need for both to achieve their objectives is just bring it a little bit closer and find that common ground. And that's very important for us as beekeepers because we need both. Right now, my bees are actually going into the bush, finding these native plants, bringing back that very rich, nutritious pollen to be used later on in winter into spring. We need that. That's very important. And we wouldn't have that without this bush. So as a farmer who's so focused on developing their properties, and if we can just convey the importance of how this property is so important to the environment and to our operations, then maybe it'll provide that train of thought to these landowners that, all right, well, I'm so focused here, maybe I just don't have to develop that little spot there. It's going to cost me a lot of time and effort. And if we can put a value on these little spots, that's just going to help translate value to that farmer a lot more efficiently, as if, yeah, it's not just a wasted property, it's actually valuable. I'm contributing to something. I'm contributing to the overall well-being of the environment because I can appreciate it by seeing how important it is to these honeybee hives here. So that's just kind of a rambling narrative that I like to convey, continue to convey. That feels very important for beekeepers to do the same. But it has to be on a balanced opinion. We can't be attacking. We have to kind of move towards collaboration to find these areas where we can meet that common ground, find those common places and capitalize on that. Right? Let's start there. And in a lot of ways, that's all we need to do. Is just find that common ground and focus on that. Definitely more robbing pressure than where they were. Out in the middle of an open pasture. Just themselves, the sunshine, the grasshoppers, and the wind. So where they're located now, you can hear the wind, 40 click wind, so we got them out of the wind, but into robbing pressure. As we manage our stock, we're managing to provide the advantage, but more so we should be looking not at the advantage, but just the trade-offs that we influence them. So that trade-off is getting them out of the wind. The trade-off is now having more bee pressure. I think they'll figure themselves out.